right, I'm back. So we left off at the end of chapter 2 and talking about the comprehensive model, and then the PowerPoint we were working from. We stopped on slide 29, and that's where it kind of went into the accountability and data. And so I want you to continue to have that document open. But I also want you to now open the link for the actual lesson. So it'll say the date and lesson 3. More than likely, yeah, it's lesson 3. I'll give you a second to locate that. We're going to kind of look at them simultaneously and talk about what was in the book. So again, I'm going to pause for just a few seconds so that you can find your place. Trust me, the more you do this along with me, the better this is going to be. I definitely value online education, but I think sometimes a little bit is lost in the one-way communication. And so I really think that these videos and links that I give you are really going to help solidify the information we're trying to learn. Because you're not practitioners and you haven't been in the field as it pertains to counseling, sometimes what you read are just words on paper, and that's not enough. Like, I really want you to get from this course what it means to be a school counselor, and have an idea of, is this really what you want to do? Is this the right path for you? Maybe you're going to find out, this is a little much. For a lot of you, this is your first course, but I'm really trying to help you get a face-to-face out of the online, which isn't normal. So usually your online courses are a lot of just kind of reading and writing, and we have some of that. Obviously you have to read and write every week, but I really think that these discussion pieces, or me at least elaborating, is going to help you truly understand what we're trying to get you to comprehend this semester. Okay, so hopefully you have everything open. If you notice, the first slide just says EDSC 5310, Intro to School Counseling, with my name. It's got a little bit of an agenda there. And then we've got our devotional. I told you last week that this was something that we were going to build into every class. And it's just important for us to remember why we're here and what brought us to DBU. They have a great philosophy that we're servant leaders, and I think that we see that in everything we do. We see that in what we're taught, and as professors, we try to embed it into the curriculum. But I have no doubt that life is really challenging right now. You just started a new school year for those of you that are teaching. Most of you probably have family and kids and, just a long list of responsibilities. And then you have Dr. B telling you, watch one more video and do this and click here and read there. And I know how daunting it can be. And so today's devotional is from Psalm 61:2. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. And so that's just a reminder that, when in doubt, when we feel overwhelmed, we have to give it to God. We have to look to our faith. Many nights as a school counselor, I only got through the day because I gave it to God. And so it's something that you can start practicing now while you're a grad student and balancing work. But as you become a school counselor, you will carry some heavy, heavy burdens on top of what you already carry. And so faith is going to get you through some of those dark times. And so I just kind of want to continue to bring that back into our studies and at our forefront, because we can do all of this, and God is by our side every step of the way. So just kind of think about that for a little bit longer, and we'll there's a chapter 2 recap, which that is here on slide 5. I just want you to I wanted to solidify a few things for you in chapter 2 that I wanted to make sure you knew. So if you would please watch that video, the link is there. I don't love these videos. They are a challenge with my rowdy dogs, but I really think they're well worth your time and will help you gain a better understanding of this course. So again, I'm highly encouraging you to watch the videos that I post. Once you've watched that video 2, we've got Chapter 3, Accountability in School Counseling. I will say I'm trying to make my videos a little shorter. I know the first one was like 40 minutes, and trust me, it was a long, rough 40 minutes for me too. And so I'm trying to keep these around 15 minutes to, again, just break up the information. I know it's hard to sit down and listen to me sometimes, but I think, again, the videos are going to help you really understand what's going on. So when we talk about that accountability in schools, we sometimes always think about, accountability and assessment, we kind of really think about the testing side of things. And really, that's a small facet of what this chapter is really asking you to understand. It talks about lots of different methods for recording time and understanding your impact. And so make sure you read through there. In the next few slides, we'll kind of talk about that. So I'm going to pause there for a second on that type of data, and I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint where we left off on slide 29, the accountability in data. So if you have watched the Chapter 2 recap, it will have paused and left off at this point. So just in case you're watching the videos out of order, you're going to want to stop this one and go back and see the Chapter 2 recap. Accountability and data, slide 29. Again, that's from that Creating and Managing a Counseling Program for Success and Longevity. It was written by my partner. And so right here we start off with an example on slide 30 of academic counseling. So a lot of what we do in the middle school and the high school is going to be academic counseling. It's going to be monitoring grades, monitoring attendance, monitoring performance on different exams and benchmarks. And so that doesn't go away. As a teacher, you think, oh, that'll go away when I become a counselor. It does not. That data is very important. It helps us understand the student and find ways to support them. So this is just an example of an academic guide for tracking. A coworker of mine actually used this one. I prefer to use kind of a Google Doc or Google Sheet to track information, but however you want to do it, it's just important that you track your students. You're not going to see this so much in elementary, but for sure middle and high school. Okay, then it goes into types of data. Types of data is on slide 33. So we have process data. Again, these are discussed in the text, but I want to just kind of draw your attention to them. You know, what guidance activities took place and for whom. Okay, we go back to that differentiation. What did we do for one class that was different for another? One time we had a big issue when I was an elementary counselor with drama and fourth grade girls. And so fourth grade in general got a friendship guidance lesson, but this particular GT class got something a little bit different because their issues were more than just that friendship problem. It was some of that catty behavior and rude behaviors, and so I had to do something a little bit different. So differentiation, again, is that process data. Perception data, what others think or feel about the program. Are we putting needs assessments out there or surveys? Needs assessments are addressed in the book again as well. You know, are we surveying our families to find out if they're feeling served? Are we surveying our staff members to feel like we are a support system? When I was a high school counselor, I actually surveyed my students. I had an alphabet of about 450 students one year, that particular year, and I sent them a survey to find out, one, did they know who I was, and two, did they feel like I had been able to help them? You know, it was really important for me to know, do my students know that I'm here to help? And so we can gather all that data with simple Google Forms and surveys and things like that. Results data, what impact did guidance and counseling services have on students? How are we measuring that? Are we doing exit tickets? Are we doing pre-tests and post-tests? All of these good teaching methods come into play when you're counseling. So great teachers make great counselors. And I will say that over and over again. A lot of my techniques came from my experience as a classroom teacher. So teachers Your experience is super valuable, and trust me, as I've sat on the other side of the hiring board, we want great teachers because they can be taught and trained to be amazing counselors. Then there's results and outcomes. Are we looking at attendance? If I did a guidance lesson or programming to help increase attendance rates, okay, how did I measure that? What was the end result? Behavior, we can look at behavior referrals, behavior charts, teacher reports, parent reports. As much as, quantitative data is amazing, we still appreciate qualitative data. Some of that, the input, that casual input from our stakeholders really gives us an idea of helps us to know if we're making change. And then again, that academic achievement is grade reports, completed assignments, and test scores. There's a slide on using the data, and then where do we begin? So again, these are kind of how you start to design your tracking systems. And here, this is an exit ticket for actually participants, but we're not going to do that today. So that pretty much finishes up that creating and managing a counseling program for success and longevity PDF PowerPoint. I want to go back to our actual presentation and talk a little bit about accountability standards. So understanding domain 4. So counselors have input, or more than input, they actually actively support in domain 4 in the new A through F accountability system. Elementary folks, this is going to be really foreign, but middle and high school, this all pertains to you. Elementary people, I still want you to know about this because it's important to know what our students are going to be doing as they get to middle and high school. And you never know when you transition from an elementary to middle or high school. You want to be well-rounded and prepared. You may think you want to go into elementary, but then the middle school or high school opportunity is open. You want to be well-rounded as well. So there's a great video out there. I wish I had created it. I probably will create my own eventually, but I just haven't had a chance to do it. So on this slide, which is slide 7, I'm asking you to go to my Twitter page. And my Twitter handle is @Benavidez_Dr. I posted a video on 8/26/18 called Understanding CCMR Indicators for A through F Accountability. I want to say it's about a 10-minute video. My friends at the Region 17 Center created it. It's fantastic. I couldn't probably do a better job myself, but that's going to help you really understand that piece of the accountability. So make sure you go to Twitter and look for that video. If you have any problems with that, let me know. Email me to my work email or my personal email, or text me or call me. Preferably text because I'm much quicker on text. I'm going to let you read through the rest of these slides. Again, it's just different ways for tracking. It's highlights from the book. But what the key takeaways I want you to get from chapter 3 are the different ways to track what you're doing to support your program, and how accountability impacts counselors with this new A through F system. Now, A through F is specific to Texas. I know I have a couple of people that are outside of Texas. Again, I still think there's value in you understanding the Texas system, because if you continue to take courses through DBU, you will be taking the Texas exam. And so, again, please go to my Twitter handle, follow me. You don't have to. I just restarted that Twitter account, so it does not have nearly as many followers as my last account did. But I'm hoping to really build out this new one with a lot of resources for counselors. And so that's why I kind of got rid of the old and started new. So if you want to stay up to date with TEA updates and just good solid information in the counseling world, follow me. I tweet out every day, lots of different stuff. I've also put a couple of practice questions here at the end that kind of go along with what we've been reading. And so I want you to kind of work through those. But that pretty much wraps up chapter 3. I told you I promised to keep it short. And so if you need anything, please contact me. Have a great day.